appearance on CNN and how he talks about the reasoning, the reason that he gives. I will only play a minute of it because, I mean, as you'll see.
I want you to address the obvious. This looks like a move by an outfit called Robinhood, which is supposed to be taken from the rich and given to the poor, and doing exactly the opposite. That when the big guys, including one of your main investors in your company, started to lose, you shut down the game to starve the little guy. Fair criticism.
That's not what it is at all. And I know you started this segment. It really resonated with me because you described the story of Robinhood. Robinhood started 5 years ago by pioneering commission-free, no-account minimum mobile investing. And we've been the spokesperson of the individual investor. And our whole goal as an institution is to enable those customers, empower them, and give them access to the markets. Because for the longest time, markets have been only accessible to the wealthy. And so the entire industry adopted our business model in 2019. And in 2020, we added millions of...
Right. So you get the idea. He's not the best spokesperson, ideally. I mean, this is kind of the idea which really encapsulates... I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Actually, no, keep it on. I'm going to play another video in a sec. But what the Robinhood CEO here did is that he wasn't able to give you a short answer, so he gave you a long one instead. The problem, which is going to be illustrated by another video in a second, which I'm going to talk about, which also affects Robinhood and other brokers. But before I go on to do that, when it does come to market manipulation, it's difficult for, big, whether that's CEOs or whoever you saw in the media over the past few days, regulators, some regulators, crying wolf over market manipulation when they themselves, as I explained by the order book, very much manipulated the stock price. And again, this is, I believe, the technicality and the mechanics of what happened. I'm not here saying that the Robinhood CEO pressed a few buttons and watched the price collapse and was happy. By no means is this an easy situation for him. He's in a lot of deep shit. Again, we're going to go into that in a second. But it's problematic when he tries to, as a Robinhood CEO, as these brokers try to balance their own financial liabilities with essentially without then manipulating the markets. And I think when the SEC talks about regulation and when people talk about, what kind of regulation could we install from here on, it's tough to let this problem go in terms of how can we avoid brokers caring for themselves and the integrity of their business without then, if it's possible at all, affecting the market at large. But what we saw from the Robinhood CEO. Oh yeah, and also I wanted to say, because of the exposure of these hedge funds and potentially Citadel and whoever is genuinely losing, I wouldn't have I could imagine that on the day where Robinhood did hold the trading, this CEO guy got a call from whoever it might be, and whoever called said, if you don't hold your trading right now, you're never going to fucking find a job on Wall Street ever again. And I'm going to make sure of it, right? Because whoever is losing the money is losing a lot of money. And not only that, if Robinhood, again, was to keep buying open as they did with selling, the price would have continued to go up. Because a lot of people behind this, when it comes to Wall Street Bets, they're here to send a message, whatever the hell that means. A lot of people don't know what they're doing is an actual short squeeze. I wouldn't assume okay, they know what they've heard the phrase because it's on the news and they're involved in it. But if you sit a Wall Street Better down, the average, maybe not average, but whoever is investing into stocks and not even options, but actual stock of GameStop, if you ask them about the mechanics of the short squeeze and whether they know if a pump or dump is legal or not, or whatever is what is their intention, they won't have a clue, which is a problematic situation. But that aside, the Robinhood CEO here essentially communicated in a terrible way to the public that they're trying not to go broke, because that's what this is about. And Robinhood, because of this, has become an incredible case study of the fragility of the brand, which is going to be studied in the future. It's important to see how this is going to, it's important to study this essentially. But like he said here, he's trying to, like the CEO said in the video just now, they're trying to provide market access to the individual investor. hypocrisy. They're trying to the entire name. That's the big funny, sad and funny irony of it all is Robinhood is meant to give from the rich to the poor, but they're now taking from the poor, potentially just the individual retail average normal person investor to the rich by that. Again, we saw how it could have changed and manipulated the market. We can't exactly justify, and this isn't something that we're ever gonna know. We can't justify that Robinhood's intent was to just tank the price. But you permit selling, you don't allow buying. It is in a nutshell, very much so obvious what's going to happen to the price. The second